Good afternoon, welcome to So Mallorca, and today with me I have some wonderful ladies and we're going to talk about an amazing subject, which is women and redefining womanhood. And Zulma, would you like to introduce yourself first and tell us a little bit about who you are, where you come from and how you happen to be sitting here today?
Okay, my name is Zulma Reyo. I live in Palma de Mallorca. I'm originally from Puerto Rico. And I've written quite a few books, but the last one is about women and for women, and I have a lot to say there. And that's one of the reasons I'm here, besides being your friend. And I would like to get this message out. I want to get women more involved about what they really are, not what we do, or not what we're supposed to be, or not about our relationships, not about sex, or any of the things that we normally think we should talk about as women, or even in the business world, but really what we are as a specimen.
Interesting. Annie, who are you?
Well, I am an intimate relationship coach. I'm also a masseuse and an acupuncturist. I've also worked with women for a number of years in different mediums, but from a nursing point of view, I've worked with women who are vulnerable, who are having babies, who may be at different points in their life where they feel that they're losing their femininity or they're facing very difficult situations. So I'm also out there and working for women, but I can be the voice of kind of reason amongst the women's lib thing, because I do believe that women and men have an equal balance, and women can sometimes let that balance go a little too far one way or the other. So maybe I'm the voice of controversy.
No, the voice of controversy I think comes from me. There's a lot I want to say about that, but go ahead. You let me go when you want.
Well, I'll just introduce myself for the audience as well. My name's Kay Newton. I'm a personal development coach. I also work with women, but women at a certain age of midlife. I'm also a mum of 2 wonderful kids. And I'm not quite sure where I'm going to fit into this story. This is going to be really interesting. Maybe I'm going to err a little bit on the side of controversy, or maybe just I'm going to be a bit too logic and maybe not. We'll see, but we'll find out.
We'll see what happens.
So what do you think redefining womanhood means to you?
Well, first of all, I want to make really, really clear that I'm not into any women's lib. I never have been, and I just can't be. And I'm not into any feminism in the traditional sense of the word. And this is where the problem comes in, because I do feel that it's time for us women to redefine ourselves, to stand apart from and in our difference from the men. And I'm getting a lot of slack for this. And the worst I'm getting from the women themselves, who think that what I'm saying is like saying, well, we are putting the men down. No, but I'm saying, hey men, it's time to stand aside and let us do things our way, or at least voice them, at least feel ourselves, define ourselves. But again, it's not just about doing. It's about the feminine principle. And it needs to be discovered. And you cannot discover it when you're merging with, or you're in balance with the men, because the men really, we're not in a balance.
We never will be.
We're not. It's a man's world. It still is. It's everything is run by, designed by, and for the logical mind, for them. Not that we're not logical as well, but we're basically irrational. We'll talk about that later. But the thing is that we need to take space to discover ourselves without our constant seeking permission, seeking approval, seeking companionship.
What did you feel when you heard the title Redefining Womanhood?
I think one of the things that I get a bit concerned about is why are we deciding now that we have to redefine women? And what about men? Do men need redefining as well? And I wonder sometimes whether we're just not just looking for another. We're all growing as a species. Humankind is growing and we're evolving, and we're going to change and grow into whatever we are, or whatever we're going to be. And I feel that I'm not 100% sure that we need to be redefined. I think we need to grow and evolve, but I'm not sure that we need to write a new book on ourselves, because we are already special and precious. And I think I think that the balance between men and women is important, and I do believe that there can be and there is a balance, but maybe we all need to just take a little step and just look at it a little bit more. I'm not explaining myself terribly well, but I think, yes, it has been a man's world, but I don't think it has been for the last 20 years. I think it's changing, and I think women are going out into business, and women are achieving more, and women are growing within the business world anyway. My concern is, and it's a huge concern, is that women are trying to become too much like men.
I agree with you.
And we're not men.
Exactly.
We can never be men. We actually can bring something very different to the workplace environment. But I do think that, this is very controversial, because I think thing that's incredibly important for us is we should be looking after our children, not trying to get back to work as quickly as we can. Have babies and get back to work. Have babies and, you know, be the women that we want to be, the businesswoman or the professional woman. Or I'm not saying we should lose ourselves amongst it all, because we shouldn't, and we're important. But I am saying that in order to for the next generation, women do need to be spending more time with their children. It's our role, is the nurturing and the caring.
But it is not one or the other, Annie. It is, I'm not saying go out to work. I'm not saying change anything. As a matter of fact, I do agree with you absolutely everything you've said, except the balance part. I don't think there is a balance. I don't think women know who they really are or what they really are. Everything is in function of the family and the husband. I'm not saying the husband and the family should go. Absolutely not. I love men. I love being with them. It's not a question about keeping them out. It's a question of us finding ourselves and eliminating those parameters. What do you say? You're always kind of the voice of reason.
I don't know. When I heard the title "Redefining Womanhood," the first thing that came to mind was my logic side saying, Why would we want to redefine womanhood? We're very different as a species from men. Biologically we're different. We'll never ever be the same. Why do we need to redefine? And then at the same time, I think of everything that's going on in the world at the minute, and there is a definite change. There's a definite movement of change. And yes, there's a definite feeling that we don't know what that change is yet. And some people acknowledge this. And some people are aware and excited about it, and other people are quite fearful of it. They're not quite sure, and everybody talks about the new feminine energy, and this is the way the world should go, and we need to get rid of the masculinity of the world. We need to stop war, we need to change the way we do business, and is that redefining womanhood? I'm not quite sure. Well, I don't know, there's just... It's an interesting topic, I think, and it's on the tip of everybody's tongues at the minute.
Mm-hmm. But the problem is, and this is what frustrates me, when I say this, it's like, it's always seen in terms of what we do, okay? Like our work, going out and working, our relationships, or our children. No. I think the woman should be a lot more and assume responsibility for even wanting to have a child. And giving the quality that we're shaping the future. But the thing is that women is extremely powerful. She is the center of everything that happens. She is the gestating energy. But this is not seen. Now, Annie, I come from a world of, my whole work is with energy. Energy structures. I come from a fairly esoteric background, and where I've been working with meditational methods, where I've been centering on what the emotional body is about, what the mental body is about. And I've been working with men and women for 40 years. So now I'm centering on women as I'm retreating from my training programs. And it's like, hey, look at your energy body and look how different it is from men, where you're coming from, and what you can do with this and you're not doing. Why? Because our minds are stuck in the definitions of us being appendages. And the whole system, it's not that I want to change the system. I want women to wake up and to realize this.
I'm going to interrupt you. I don't think today's women do feel that they're appendages.
No,
maybe
they want to be
women
appendages.
I don't agree with you.
I
Maybe
think it also
women more
depends on the
about
culture
age.
they're in.
But yeah, I think the culture. But also I think today's young people, today's young women, my daughter's 22, there's nothing appendage about her. and amongst her friends, they're all out there and they're all saying and they're being the young women that they are. I think this is what I was saying, is that I think things are changing as we evolve, if you like.
It would be interesting to have my husband here now, because I'm sure my husband would say, you have always been your own boss and you've always decided what you're going to do, and if anything, I'm the appendage, it's not the other way around.
Yes, but we don't, nothing has changed. But nothing has changed. I want to give you an example, because I've just been through a very intimate experience with two men who love me very much. And so it's not a question of they don't love me and they don't respect me. And yet, in our conversations, perhaps because I'm into this topic now and I'm so passionately into it, but there were so many times when I was dismissed. There were so many times where I was, because I'm misunderstood or not understood, because where we're coming from as a woman, and I don't think I'm that very different from any of us and any other woman, there was such a quiet, invisible kind of dismissal of what I was saying, of what I was doing, of what I was representing. Yes, we respect you. And I said, but have you really read my work? And he said, well, no, not really. I said, well, then what do you respect? Oh, because I think you're a wonderful person. No. There's there's a way I think, there's a way I feel, and there's a way I see the world. And I would like that to be also a part of your experience. And if it isn't, and if it can't be, well, then let me have a go at it without your criticism or your even the paternalistic protection, or the fact that I would need your approval in order to express myself. It's very subtle, but it goes very deep and it goes very far. And we are the ones that, in other words, support the energy that builds the world. If this energy were made conscious, we could have a better world. Now, I'm saying we need to unite, not against men, but for ourselves, to discover ourselves, the quality of our being. Yes, your daughter is part of this new expression. Yes, we're getting changes done. But what I'm talking about is an awareness of a quality that has not yet been made known. Well.
We'll come back to this.
I think so. I think I'm going to rush off and read your book, actually, because I've not read your book.
We need to talk a lot, and I want to hear your perspective on this.
Well, thank you everybody for listening for the minute, and please come back for part 2. I'm sure we've got some more wonderful and exciting things to tell you then. Bye for now.